Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. We're live and on the air. Our sponsor tonight is John Jones. John Jones Real Estate. Going to roll over to Knoxville. Going to talk to my good friend, the head coach of the Knoxville Catholic Fighting Irish, head coach Philip Shadowens. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Doing great, Snort.
Well, talk to Coach Rankin. Of course, he's 5-0 and doing really well. We was talking about how he's still rocking and rolling, doing what Coach Rankin does. Just a pleasure to interview. But anyway, last Friday night, you're sitting at 3-1, lost to NBA, and man, we followed that game close. What happened, Coach? You lost 13-10. That was a battle. That's tough.
Yeah, we up 10-0 at halftime. Had been down inside the red zone 3 other times, and bottom line is we were in the red zone 5 times and we scored 3 points. We scored on the second play of the game with a quick screen to Tyreek King, and we didn't score but another field goal the rest of the game. And even though we had almost 400 yards of offense, we just shot ourselves in the foot over and over again in the red zone. Then defensively, I don't know, about 4 minutes left in the third quarter, we'd given up 66 yards, but we got hit on an RPO, got a kid out of position. They had about a 60-yarder for a touchdown, make it 10-7. And then we went 3 and out. We held them on a big 4th down play on their side of the field. Offense drives down, again, really to put the game away, and we fumbled the ball on the 12-yard line, I think it was, 13-yard line. Still 10-7, and they kind of hit us on a scramble route. Got a kid out of position. Just play probably wouldn't be very good, 50 out of 51 times, but it kind of got across the grain. The quarterback sprinted one way, kind of threw it the other direction across the grain, and just it was the seam of the defense, and we couldn't catch him, and he ran down and scored and made it 13-10, and still had plenty of time. We drove back down again to the 20-something yard line, and still 3 minutes left to go in the game, and couldn't do anything with it. Had a penalty, had a drop, had some things go bad. We just didn't finish anything. A lot of people, you watch the game and think, well, the defense played really well and all that kind of stuff. And I think the defense played well, but not well enough. We give up 2 plays. We haven't given up big plays all year long, and both of them are kind of, one of them was an RPO and one of them was kind of a scramble play. But bottom line is I thought our kids played crazy hard, but defensively, but we still give up 2 plays that we can't give up, and then offensively we just did nothing in the red zone, and we certainly have to fix that. I mean, it was a game in which, you leave thinking, it should have been a no-brainer win for us, but yet we didn't finish the game like we have to, and so it was a hard pill to swallow, but, I guess it's a lesson learned, and, we got to do a better job of finishing.
Well, I mean, it seems like to me, you just, like you said, you didn't finish, but it seems like to me you left them in the game, and then, like you said, every time you get ready to try to score some points and put some more points on them, something would happen, and you were helping them hang around long enough to beat you. Is basically what you're saying.
100%. Turnovers inside the red zone and penalties inside the red zone will get you. We had multiple turnovers inside the red zone, and when you do that and you leave your team in the game, to be perfectly honest, it probably should have been up a minimum of 3 scores at half. And the score was 10-0, and so you leave a good team. I mean, NBA is a good football team. They're undefeated as well. They were undefeated here going into Friday night as well. They're a good football team. But when you leave a team in the game that shouldn't be in the game, and they catch a little momentum, which they did with the one play there late in the third quarter, you leave them in the game, and when they still got a chance, and they found a way to make a play, and we didn't find a way to make a play or to finish a drive or whatever you want to call it. So. That's a game of football. You see it every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Whenever you're watching, you see it. You see it all the time at every level of football. And that's the thing about this thing is that this old game teaches you a lot of lessons. And one of them is you gotta do things right all the time, and you gotta finish things the right way and all that kind of stuff. And we didn't do that on Friday. And it's a lesson learned. And our kids have we've worked extremely hard this week at practice, and expectations are really high, and our kids have high expectations, and our coaches have high expectations with our kids, and so it's been a hard week of work, and our kids are eager to get to Friday. I promise you, because I guarantee they're tired of they're tired of practicing. It's been a tough week, and we're just ready to get to the next one now.
Oh, so we've had one of those. We're going to hit around on each other a little bit this week. A little bit tougher, you're telling me.
Yeah, we finished the day after 2 hours and 20 minutes with about a 10-minute live, good on good goal line period. So yeah, we banged up a little bit, but I think that's the game of football. You got to have a certain amount of toughness, and in our league, that's certainly what you got to have to win games. And I didn't feel like Friday night. I mean, even though I thought we were extremely physical, but on Friday night we didn't have enough mental toughness to finish the game that we were supposed to. So, certainly we expect more. We got to coach better, we got to play better, and we got to finish games better. And I think we've learned a valuable lesson. And I'm looking forward to 7:00 on Friday night.
Silverdale, you catch the Seahawks. This game is at your house. They're 3-2. Talk about Silverdale, because Coach Rankin says they're really good. He's got to play them. So I'm interested to hear a little bit more about Silverdale.
Yeah, they're a good football team, really well coached, very good schematically at what they do. They have a quarterback that's really, really talented. It spins it really well, can move around some. I think they have a left offensive tackle that was offered by Louisville recently. So they got good players. They got good players at a lot of positions. They got two big old tall receivers, and they play three different tailbacks. All have different features. One's really fast, one's really big and physical. So it's going to be a battle. It's not a game we just show up and throw our helmets out and say, hey, we're Knox Catholic, we're going to automatically win a football game. It takes our attention. We've worked exceptionally hard at being detail oriented in our plan on both sides of the ball, and it's another good football team. We don't have any bad football teams on our schedule, so it's another good football team.
Well, and what people need to understand, what you need to make sure is like what you're trying to tell everybody is that we don't need to start or continue what we were continuing last Friday night. You're trying to break that so that when you get into this game, you worry about, let's get back to Knox Catholic football and who we are, because we've got a longer way to go. We got to get through this one, but we got you got 5 more after it, because you've only played 4, so you've already had your break. So now you've got 6. This one Friday night will be your 5th game, so you'll have 5 after it.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, and it's a long season. There's going to be lots of ups and downs within the season, and we play in an unbelievably tough league, and we know that, and it's awesome, and it's we love playing there, and we can get away Friday night. It's a hard pill to swallow for kids, but I was saying God put eyes in the front of your head instead of the back of your head. There's a reason why. You got to look forward, but it took a while to get over it. Kids were still reeling on Monday, and coaches were, the staff meeting was tough on Sunday, and we're all eager to play again. That's the thing about football. The great thing about football is every Friday night in high school football you get to play. The bad thing about that is you got to wait a whole week to play the next one. So, so it's been tough to get through that. But our kids have recovered. Our kids will come out and play with great effort on Friday night, and I don't have any doubt about those things. We still have a lot of confidence as a football team. Our kids know what happened on Friday night, and they know it was more about what we didn't do than what they did do. But give them credit; they found ways to make 2 plays, and we didn't find ways to make another one. So, but we are exceptionally eager and ready to get to this Friday night for sure.
I want to share with the fans, that this Friday night, of course, we're going to be over at the Inferno, and one of the biggest games in 6A, of course, is 2 undefeated teams. But how many times, Coach, it was 5A then when you were at Blackman, but you were undefeated, and Coach McDaniel was undefeated, or whatever the case may be. And, back then, and the games, and a lot of them, are almost all of them, I was always at the game and filmed it and got the highlights up on YouTube. But just so many rich tradition games between Blackman and Oakland, Coach.
Oh, absolutely, and me and Tommy have talked about that occasionally. We played a lot of times, especially the last 3 or 4 years. Most of the time we played 2 times a year.
Yes.
We would play in the regular season, we'd play again in the quarterfinals, and the last 8 times that we played, when I was at Blackman and Tommy was at Oakland, we were 4-4. It was 4-4, and I told him one time, at some point we're going to break that tie. At some point, he's at Christian Brothers on the other side of the state, but we could match up in the playoffs at some point maybe, but. It's some great games, and Tommy, the way Tommy always acted, you'd think that we were arch enemies. Really, we talked quite often. We were we were, we didn't like each other the week we played, but we liked each other pretty well. We talked a lot, away from everybody else, but we didn't really tell anybody about all that. But it was a great rivalry, and really we beat each other so bad in the quarterfinals. My last year we beat them on ESPN, and then they beat us in the quarters, and then they got beat by Maryville in the semis. The year before that, they beat us in the regular season. We beat them in the quarters, and then Maryville beat us in the semifinals. We beat each other up so badly in the quarterfinals. It was probably in all my years of coaching, those games, those last couple of years when we played each other, was the most physical high school games that I've ever been a part of as a coach. And bodies were beat up badly after that game, and it was a great rivalry. And I think maybe it's been reignited based on what happened last year. And I know Blackman hadn't beat Oakland in a long time. And I know they're eager to try to do that. So, good luck to those guys, and that ought to be a fun game.
Oh, yeah. Well, Coach, one thing is that I've been with you. You've been with me, and I've been with you quite a long time, and nobody can thank you enough for always being on Inside the Headset. We wish you the best of luck Friday night against the Silverdale Seahawks, and we're going to be off for a couple of weeks, but we'll catch up to you real soon on Inside the Headset.
Hey, sounds good, Stuart. Good talking to you.
See you. Bye.